Hi guys, a few days back I made this car out of 2 sheets of A4 paper, and it has wire axles because that's what I was asked to do. The next question came back, could I make it entirely out of paper? In other words, without the wire axles. That should be fairly straightforward. Instead of the wire axles, I'll just have to wrap some paper into a very thin tube to make the axle. So that's what I'll try and do. I'll make some wheels first. They're just discs of paper glued together with a glue stick, and then we'll see what we can do. That's my 8 discs. I'll now glue them together so we have 4 wheels. And I'll also use these bits from the middle to give them a bit of extra thickness. I'll leave these to dry. I'll put something flat on top to hold them so that they don't warp as they dry. Now we need to make the axles, so I'm just going to wrap some paper around this barbecue skewer so that we have some thin tubes. I can make them just over 4 inches long. Not sure how many turns, how many layers we need. Shouldn't need many. 1.5 inches I'm going to use. Want it as tight as possible. Put some glue on there to hold it tight. That's 2 axles. Now we need some tubes that are a bit wider than that for axle tubes. these bits. I could probably use a pencil for that. With the paper I've got left, I can make these about 3 and a bit. I'll make these 2.5 inches. That's the amount that wraps around the pencil, 2.5 inches. So that's our axle tubes, with our axles going through it. Now we need the longer bits. I think that piece of paper will do, but I'll get a longer pencil because this one's not quite long enough. Right, longer pencil, that'll do for the chassis members. I have 2.5 inches wide. That's the bit that wraps round the pencil. We'll leave them to dry for a while. Now we need to join these together. I'm going to use the bits of paper that are left over to do that. U-shaped pieces like that. I think I cut those a little bit too long because this piece is a bit too short. But I've got this bit left over, so I think we'll be alright. I think I'll let that dry and then add some more because that piece has come loose. Now we're going to try and put the wheels onto the axles. The wheels haven't dried perfectly flat, they've got a bit of a curve to them, but I expect they'll still work. We'll use the hole in the middle that we marked with the compass. Open it up a bit. That's what we've got to work with, so we'll see how we get on. When you make the hole, it does push a little bit of an edge through, and that should help us to glue it onto the axle. Well, that's our all-paper car. I shall leave that to dry a little bit and then we'll try it out. The target is for it to go 2 to 3 feet when you push it. On the floor of my kitchen I've got some red tape. A long piece there and a smaller piece just where the car is. They are 1 metre apart. So if it runs that distance, it's gone more than 3 feet. So we'll try that. No trouble at all. Now I'll stick my little handheld electric fan on it and see if it's got enough strength to carry the weight of this and go along through my kitchen. If it does go, I'll pick up the camera and chase it. It's building up some speed. Well, that worked absolutely fine. Probably be better if I actually taped it in place, but I just rested it on top. So there we go, a paper car made from one sheet of A4, and it's strong enough to take the weight of that handheld electric fan. I'm just going to modify my paper car so that I can make it into a rubber band powered car. It won't be very powerful and it won't go very far because it's much too small, but you could apply the same principles and make a much larger paper car and turn it into a rubber band powered car if you really wanted to. Just use more paper to make stronger tubes to make the bodywork from, and that'll work for a bigger paper rubber band powered car. Well, it's rubber band powered, but it's got no grip, so we'll have to see if we can put something on those wheels that doesn't crush them but gives us some grip. This is the paper car that I made just now. I've cut the back axle tube so that we can get through to the axle. I've added a rubber band and I've cut up a balloon and put it over the back wheels to give us some grip. And we just did about 1.5 meters. I don't think we'll get much more out of it because I don't want to wind it up too much or we'll bend the paper. I'm just winding the rubber band over itself so it grips on the back axle. Yes, gonna have a lot of trouble trying to get any grip with that. Yeah, we're going just over the metre mark, about 1.5 meters if we're lucky. Summary time. What have we got? We've got a rubber band powered car made entirely from paper. So we've got paper tubes for the chassis and the axle tubes, and the axles are made from paper rolled up. The wheels are made from discs of paper glued together. Obviously the rubber band isn't paper, and to give it some grip I've had to cut up a balloon and put strips of the balloon round the back wheels. They're very loosely put on the back wheels because those paper wheels have got no strength at all. So if they're too tight then the wheels just bend. But that balloon happens to be the right size. And that's it. A rubber band powered car made from paper. Job done.